One other element that we want to show you how to use in the timeline is a very simple use of motion fit to fill. And what this does is it allows you to change the speed of a clip based on how long you need it to be instead of how long it is. A lot of times you'll have a shot that maybe is a little bit too short and you'll need to extend it to fit a certain length. We're going to try the opposite. We're going to try taking a longer clip and speeding it up to fit into a certain area. The way that we're going to do that is I'm going to listen to the timeline in some dialogue that I have in the bottom track.
Dedication to performance. Each bat is actually a complex system with.
So I'm going to take that section of each bat is actually a complex system. We're going to pretend it actually says helmet, but we're going to.
Dedication to performance.
So I'm going to hit
each
in.
Bat is actually a complex system.
And out. So on my in to out, that is the section that I want to fill with this footage of this helmet. Unfortunately, this helmet is quite long. We can click on it and find out how long it is. Up here in the center duration area, it tells us that this clip is 12 seconds long. Anytime you have a mark in and out set, it tells you in the center duration section how long that is. If I only chose to go, say, halfway into this clip and mark an out, it's telling me that that's only 6 seconds and 29 frames to that point. I want the entire clip, so I'm just going to hit this Mark Clip button. That will select the entire clip, and now we have 12 seconds. Now if we go over to the sequence side and I click on the sequence side, notice how the center duration changed to 2:15. That tells me that from my in to my out in my sequence is only 2.5 seconds. So in order to change the speed of this shot to fit this 2.5 second clip, what we're going to do is make sure that we're selected on the source side, because if we're selected on the sequence side and we go to our motion palette, you'll see this motion effect editor, which allows you to do some pretty complex keyframed speed changes from slow to fast over a curve. It can go fast and slow and fast again. What we want is a much simpler speed change. So I'm going to click on the source side, click on this timeline tool palette, and choose the little speed transition thing. Looks like an italicized frame. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of choosing 50% speed, I'm going to click on this button here, Fit to Fill. And Fit to Fill tells me that in order to get this to be the right length, it's going to be at a speed of 144 frames per second. And I also have down here the option to use duplicated fields, which will half the resolution and look kind of stair-steppy. We don't want to do that. You can either choose both fields, or interpolated field, or VTR style. And if you ever have problems with a speed change, a slow-mo, or a speed up, and it doesn't look good, I would say try one of the other options down here. It depends kind of on the clip and the footage and how much you slow it down on which one of these ones you want to choose. And sometimes it's a little bit of just a trial and error. I'm going to use interpolated fields. That's the most common, easiest one that should always work. And I'm going to hit Create and Render. I'm going to pick a bin for it to go into and say OK, because it's actually rendering this media as a sped up clip. Now if I play it, woo, you can see that that's pretty fast. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, and since I have a mark in and out selected here, I actually don't need an in or out selected here, but if I wanted to, I could mark it in there and just hit Overwrite. And now it will fill that section with this clip we just sped up.
Has an insane dedication to performance. Each bat is actually a complex system with one simple purpose.
Perfect. So that's using a little bit of time compression to fit to fill an exact area in the timeline that you're trying to fill.